So I wanted to start this video off on a high note. The last video that we made was quite depressing, that being the really not worth fixing word processor. So what we have here is literally a digital HiNote VP. This is a Pentium laptop. This is first generation Pentium, probably a 75 to a 120. I'm not really sure what it is yet. This was the more deluxe version of the HiNote at that time period. And I can show you what the lower end models look like. Here they are. These were the lesser expensive version, and were quite cool actually. We have a lot to cover here. Unfortunately, I don't have a single power supply for any one of these. It's really a shame. I don't have any power supplies. I have, however, several battery packs. The battery charger, standalone charger, battery just snaps onto it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batteries. I have 2 CD-ROM docking stations. These are cool. This is a docking station with a built-in CD-ROM drive. It doesn't offer port replication. All it does is really offer speakers. And the neat thing about this is you can clip the laptop right to it. I'll put a battery in there. Oh, we'll take a different one. There we go. So this is one. This is a one of the smaller versions of the HiNote, and it has a battery pack affixed to it, and it just clips right in to the docking station like that. And it can be carried by folding the battery down, and now it's the size of a full-sized laptop. And you can tote it around like this. But when you don't need the CD-ROM drive or the speakers, all you do is unclip it like so. Battery folds back like that, and you can tote it around as a sub-notebook. The laptop doesn't have any internal drives, making it a true sub-notebook. It does offer 2 PCI Type 2 slots. These are not Type 3 compatible, apparently. And, of course, you've got a memory expansion cover there. PS2 port, power supply port, infrared. And it actually has a speaker and microphone jack. So, to open it up, you just press this button here, and there you go. This is the HiNote Ultra CT475 trackball, 486 Intel processor, probably shipped with Windows 3.1 originally. And it has one of those status LED or LCD displays here. I can already tell it's a TFT display just by the appearance of the display itself. I can tell what kind of display it is. So this would have been a high quality display for its time period. And once again, I have no battery, I have no power source of any kind, so I can't test it out. So I got that one. I've got this one, which is probably the one that's in kind of rough condition. There's some cracking going on here. From the looks of it, this machine was property of Digital Equipment Corporation. It has a digital asset tag on it, which doesn't surprise me one bit, because Digital had a huge presence in this area. They had manufacturing and office facilities in southern New Hampshire and in Massachusetts, which isn't far from here. So these were actually property of Digital Equipment. These were not sold to customers. This one is in the best condition, but I mistakenly, well, I wouldn't say mistakenly, I was cleaning the keyboard and my rag got stuck on the edge of a key and ripped it off. I have the key. It's not broken. I just need to reattach it. It's kind of a pain in the ass to reattach, so I'm going to have to work at it for a little bit. But these keys are designed unusually. I've never seen anything like it. But what my goal is to get one of these running with the best parts out of all of them, and maybe sell the rest. Keep the batteries that hold a charge, since it's entirely possible. These are probably NiCads. No, lithium ion. No way. These are lithium ion. But I want to get one, get these charged up and see if I can't use them again. They'd be nothing to rebuild. I mean, there's only a couple of cells in there. That's it. But that would give me my Windows 3.1 laptop. See, my goal is to find a laptop with each major Microsoft operating system. You know, I have a Windows Millennium laptop. I have my Windows 95 laptop. That being my IBM ThinkPad over there. You know, I've got a Windows XP laptop that's in beautiful condition. I don't have a Windows 3.1 laptop that I can consider to be a collector grade machine. Anything beyond that, I don't really have any interest in, you know. Now the Pentium over here. Oh, I'm not even done. I'm not even done showing you the 486. We haven't even powered the thing up yet, and we're already going through some pretty cool features. But it has a so we've gone over the CD-ROM audio dock. I'm going to show you the floppy dock. This is cool. It's more of a wedge than a dock. But what it does is it gives you a 3.5-inch floppy drive, and it clips right to the bottom of the laptop. It's actually kind of cool. I haven't clipped it on yet, so hopefully it won't embarrass me. But the cool thing about it is it becomes a keyboard wedge. Well, not in the traditional sense. What I really mean is it elevates the machine to, it's got a little locking screw there. Okay, you turn that to lock it in place. There we go. And what you do is you can use it on your desk. It's got a floppy drive. It looks like it has room for some PCM CIA2 slots, but that wasn't populated in this particular version of the wedge, I guess. Interesting. And it gives you a nice typing angle to type on. Pretty cool. Allows you to fold the battery down so that you can have access to the I/O ports, serial, parallel, and display. It's pretty cool. So, we've gone over those. Not much else to say. I don't know how much memory is in them. And I don't even know what's on the hard drives, if anything at all. I do know that they were digital equipment property at one time. And they're probably abandoned when, you know, Compaq took over and the employees started stripping the walls of anything of value. Digital's downfall. Now, digital, just as a quick background, digital equipment, or DEC, didn't really sell to end users. They were more into the equipment leasing programs to big business, and they were really into the back-end data operations. You know, they would sell the DEC VAX system, or micro-VAX system, of terminals and a server. And they were really into the same markets that IBM was into, only digital had no interest in selling to consumers or end users. That's just not what their business was all about. You basically just leased equipment from digital and used it in your company until the lease ran out, and then you send it back and then you get new stuff. That's pretty much what digital did. Almost like Wang, but Wang took it a bit further. Wang, also a very local company. I used to drive by their building every day. Wang used their own systems They never had a computer that was truly 100% Microsoft or IBM compatible, either hardware or software. They just never had the full compatibility thing going for them, and that's what really killed off Wang. And if they didn't do that, they would have been just another digital or another Compaq, and they would have gone out of business anyway. But that having been said, let's take a look at this Pentium. But yeah, I knew a lot of kids whose parents worked for Digital. They were a huge, like I said, a huge presence in southern New Hampshire, especially in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, and early 90s. But this is the Pentium model. This would have been a very expensive laptop in its day, being it a digital product and being it a Pentium. Notebooks in general were very pricey at that time period. If you had a Pentium, you had something special. Today, if you have a laptop, it doesn't really matter. Everybody has them. But don't know much about it. But let's just take a quick look at it. Got a docking bay port. Typical parallel serial VGA, PS2. And this is unusual. An optical drive that you press a button even when it's powered off and it opens up. I think that's cool. Now, I don't know who manufactured Digital's laptops, but it seems to be pretty well made. I'm going to say it's... Where are these made anyway? This is Taiwan. This could be a Clio. I doubt it. But, you know, being a Taiwanese machine, it's really hard to say. There were a lot of companies in Taiwan that existed around that time period. Looks like it's got a communications card in it. What do we have here? Got a U.S. Robotics Courier 33.6. I had one of these back in the day. It was on my dad's laptop. I had a Compaq Contora 486 that I had given my father, and that's what it had. Pretty cool. Oh, hard drive. This will tell us how old the machine is if it has the data plate. Whoops. Guess not. Is it locked? Shit. Must have a screw holding it in place. Like a lock screw. Should have checked for that first, dummy. Alright. That's okay. This laptop's not really going to get restored anyway. I'm more interested in the little 486s than the Pentium. So. Alright. Yeah, there were screws. See, this is what happens when you make videos after a long day of meetings, and it seems like all I ever do at work now is meetings. Constant meetings. Last one I was in today was like 3 hours long. Jesus Christ. But anyway. So I'm really tired. Alright, here we go. Let's try that again. Ooh, yeah. November of 96. So a little bit older than my ThinkPad. It's got a 1.4 gig drive. Really? That's impressive. Yeah, ignore that. 1.4 gig in 96 on a laptop, no less. That's cool. Now that is a big drive. At least it was then. So I may save these hard drives because they're getting harder to find these days. You know, really, I bend that back. Yeah, this is not the way to do it. I just put a little pressure on it. There we go. Should be okay now. Put it back in. Okay. Put the screws back. Once I get my power supply, I'm going to order one on eBay. They are rare, but I did find one. And they want $20 with shipping. So it's worth buying one power supply, I think. If I can get one of these running and throw Windows 90, no, I'm 95, Windows 3.1 is what I want to put on it, and we'll call it a day. Now, I remember one student in school who had a digital HiNote, and they only had that laptop because, I think it was a girl, her father worked for digital, just like everybody else's, and that's why they had one. Otherwise, you couldn't just go to Walmart and buy these things. I mean, these were only sold to industry, if not just leased. But anyway, I noticed that this cover seems to be springy, and I'm not really sure why. Is something going to happen? I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for it. Now, to get this cover off, how would one do such a thing? Not entirely sure. I don't want to break anything. Oh, there we go. It's metal. There we go. Bending it. Don't do that. So that looks like, ooh, the processor board. This is a Pentium a 486DX475. That's what's marked off on it. And this is going to be the processor board. So if I take this board off, I'm going to find a processor over there, I bet. It uses old-fashioned memory, of course. What else would they use? I don't have a screwdriver here that fits that screw, so I gotta go upstairs and get a different one. But that's what that is. More than likely, that's what it is. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're gonna put this cover back on. Hopefully it goes on okay. There we go. Nice. Battery removal, just flick this little switch here and battery just comes right off. Actually, there's two locks you gotta undo. And it just pops off like that. This design is very similar to the Compaq Armada. And I bet you anything that this is where DEC got that design from. I bet you they got that from Compaq, or Compaq got that design from Digital when they acquired the company, because the Compaq Armada had a battery that was installed in a very similar fashion, and it also acted as a carrying handle, which this one doesn't, so that's unfortunate, but still pretty cool. Well, I'm going to stuff these in a corner somewhere until I find some power supplies. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've I don't know if you learned anything, but I hope you've been entertained. Let's put it that way. I gotta clean this mess up. My house is getting really messy with all these freaking laptops. So